Howdy, y'all.
Howdy. Officially our, second trailer meal in Reno. And we got everything pretty much situated. Slides are out, back porch is down.
Back office is cleaned out and repacked.
Yeah. All of the product.
Floors are swept.
It's going to be a tricky one because the land that we're staying on is very sandy. So we're going to be sweeping a lot. Very grateful to have a place to park up.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Alexis's friend letting us stay on their property, and it's just very open space, very quiet.
We have two little baby trees next to us that are kind of giving us some shade.
Yeah. You can see mountains all around. It's really cool.
Yeah. The stars the first night was really pretty.
Day one of working full-time, AJ and Company, went really well. We did really well in sales. I feel like morale was great. Energy died out a little bit at the end there.
Yup.
And we had a little triggers and lack of communication on my end when it came to, our work day and how it played out at the end. So we had a long chat about it, and again this morning. So I think we're on much better terms. So happy to have been able to communicate, true feelings rather than the triggers. Because I think I was definitely stuck for a minute, and unfortunately I felt better after sleeping on it. And it's not really fair to you as far as how I'm communicating with you prior to sleeping on it. And
yeah, I don't like going to bed like heavy energy.
Yeah. But it makes me think, like, in the future, should I keep being dishonest with you and telling you that everything is fine until I can sleep on it, because everything was fine, I was just being triggered. And taking a little bit of time to reflect on my own, because this morning I felt much better, and I felt like I could see what was going on with myself, and it didn't have to hurt you.
I feel like let's say in this situation where you're being triggered and kind of giving off not the lightest energy, and then also communicating what we had communicated was triggering me and made me want to just completely shut down. So it's like I'm either all or nothing kind of energy, and not saying like I was like goodbye, but like I didn't want to, like I didn't know what to talk to you about. I didn't particularly want to cuddle. I didn't, I just kind of wanted to be left alone. And I know you felt that same way, but then when I had journaled, I came to the conclusion on the last sentence, after just really digging deep on the heaviness and the good things and the gratitude of the day. And then I'm like, it was like heavy gratitude, heavy towards the end. And I'm like, okay, but like overall, we had a really freaking great day with our communication and with our sales and with the weather and being in such a beautiful like location for our home. Like that's so cool. And I was like, okay, so yeah, Alexis, you're really, really hurt and you're really upset, but like if like all I want to do is be reassured and to be held or kissed or hugged, even if it's just for a fast minute. And I think that at the end when I had kind of that realization, like, well, we both feel crappy, but we don't want to feel crappy. So I'm going to be the bigger person, and I'm going to kiss you goodnight, even though you had curled up and your back turned towards me.
Did you kiss me goodnight?
Yes.
Did I kiss you back?
No.
Was I asleep?
Yes.
Oh.
yeah, you're sleeping on your side, and I came up and I kissed your like temple, and you kind of
Oh, you scared the shit out of me.
yeah, I scared you, and you didn't like push me away, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna like, it felt good to kiss you. It felt good to challenge myself to not be so stubborn, you know. And although, you know, I was really, really, really hurting, I was just like, well, I wanted to kiss you goodnight and overcome whatever I was feeling a little bit. And then I just kind of laid there and put my head in your neck, on your cheek and stuff for maybe like 45 seconds or so. And then I was like, you know, you're sleeping, and I was able to, yeah, give you that love. And then I just turned over and went to bed. But I feel like journaling was really helpful. So do you think that that would be something that you would maybe be interested in the future, if you're having a tougher moment, to journal, to see kind of if you're able to move through whatever you're going through without sleeping? I just don't like the idea of going to
I don't think
bed.
it had to do with sleeping in general. I think it was just time. Like, I woke up to use the restroom, and in that time of like settling down, I think if our issue happened at 7 in the morning, by noon I would have been able to process it. But it was just time that I needed to like cool down and not feel the trigger and recognize that I was being triggered, in order to come to you and tell you like, hey, this is what was going on. I'm sorry. Like, some of the yeah, I mean, I wasn't very kind in the way that I approached the conversation in the car. So, you know, I didn't want to come off that way, and I'm super appreciative of everything that we had going on. Like you were saying about your journaling, like I was super grateful for how everything went down. You were scaring me for months about how hot it was going to be, and it was a beautiful 85-degree day. It was a little windy, but you know, she was telling me that her canopy has flown over in the past, and you know, people's tents are flying all over the place. Like, we didn't have to deal with that. We weighed it down a little bit, but it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
All good in the hood, and I was just so happy to feel helpful. You know, I was able to make a couple sales while you weren't there, or you know, I was able to make sales while you were there, sitting there in the back, doing your thing.
Yeah.
So it felt very rewarding. And to end on the note that we did is really frustrating to me because of me, not because of you. So
Yeah, I understand that, like, sometimes it's like, I don't even know why I'm upset, or should I be upset for this, you know, and sometimes it's just like, it's hard to shake, so I get that. And that happens to me a lot.
yeah, that's just, I know that you're putting a lot of like faith in me and in us with this, and like, there was a moment where, like, in my trigger and during our conversation, I felt like I came back, and I felt like you were questioning all of your decisions leading up to this, and like I got re-triggered and I came back out of my body, it felt like, and I couldn't stop what I was doing. I couldn't change the conversation. I couldn't change how I felt in the moment. So I just don't ever want you to regret the decisions, and like, I'm here to support you. Like, that's literally why I'm here. So to have made you feel otherwise, not okay. So I'm really sorry.
I just appreciate you, you know, hearing me out and then taking time to reflect on what I am saying, you know, versus what maybe is being interpreted. choosing this just was like, holy fuck. You know, I also got triggered, so I think that we have a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn as a, you know, like, I don't necessarily want to say boss, but kind of.
Business owner,
yeah. So, and I think you're going to help me tremendously with that, you know? I struggle with asking for help in general, so.
Yeah, making you feel like you can't ask.
Yeah.
Even more so is, like, I'm supposed to be helping you with the ability to ask for help, not making it harder.
Yeah.
So, okay. We woke up this morning and I was up for a little bit before Alexis, and you know, I explained to her that, you know, pretty much what we just said, like, you know, I'm really sorry, and like, I'm so happy to be here and to be doing this with you. Triggers are such a weird fucking thing.
Yep. They're hard.
You know, it's one thing to work on your triggers on your own and like do your own thing when you're single. Whole different ball game when you have a partner and the trigger revolves around something that the partner is doing or not doing, and
or how one shows up.
Right. It's just it's a practice, and I feel like I have some work to do in that practice, which is hard because there are times where I feel like I've got myself figured out. I've got this down, this whole relationship thing, like, I got this. Like, I can be supportive for you whenever you need, or, you know, I know how to calm you down and all this stuff, but I haven't figured out how to do that for myself in all of the things that I get triggered by. And it's mostly because I don't get triggered that much anymore. Like, I've done a lot of work on my patience, my temper, my, you know, empathy, my sympathy, to not get triggered. So when it does happen, it's like, fuck, like, it feels like a big jump back in my journey, and I don't like that.
I get that.
You don't want more?
No, I'll be satisfied after this. I promise. I feel like I get triggered a lot more than you do. I feel like I'm moving through things that I don't want to be moving through. You know, I want to be on the other side of certain thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, and
look at this fucking thing.
Giant salmon. You know, so
Yeah, I mean,
it is
I don't
frustrating.
think anybody wants to be triggered. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So, just wanted to get on here and let you know that I love where we're at. I loved the experience of day 2 at the Wing Fest, our day 1. And, you know, just every 2 days, we've gone through so much, I feel like, already.
The last 3 days.
Right. Tire blowout, changing the tires, parking the truck, you know, just all different things.
Yeah. We've been through a lot. We've really done really amazing, I'd like to say. I'm so impressed with you, and I feel so loved by you, and I feel so taken care of by you. So I know that it's been really, really difficult the last couple days, but I'm happy where we're at.
I'm happy. Today we're gonna go
Play.
find some big body of water. Not sure if it's gonna be a river or a lake. I would prefer the lake, but we are gonna go do some exploring, Reno, and I'm really excited to be doing it with you. We're gonna be bringing y'all along for a little bit of the ride, but you know, it's really hard. The urge to film everything, but also wanting to experience everything for myself. Like,
I think it's just about finding the balance, what works for you. You know, like maybe we just start exploring, you know, and we enjoy ourselves, and then we're like, let's pull out the camera for this shot, and then we're gonna put it away, and then we're gonna keep on doing our thing, you know, versus feeling like, oh, I need to get the entrance, I need to get the us doing this, you know. I think if we have like an intention to do that kind of video, cool, but it's also okay to be like,
it's never been about like
relax.
for me, and you know, I don't know if I've really spoken about this much, but photography and videography all stems back to my grandpa having Alzheimer's. So like the fear of losing my memory and the fear of not having those moments recorded. So it's it's not just about like, ooh, this is where I'm at, ooh, this is what I'm doing, like I'm having the best time in my life, or I'm able to explore this area. It's more like, this is for me. This is like, if you say something silly, or if you do something silly, or
I'm
if
not
something
a silly person.
if something crazy happens, or we see something that isn't normal to see, I want to be able to remember it with a video. So that's like my constant conflict of, do I literally have this thing rolling all the time, or do I try to enjoy the moments and trust that I'll remember them?
For me, that bothers me a lot, that I don't remember a lot of things. Because we'll be chatting about something, or, oh, this movie we just watched, da da da, and I'm like, what? I don't know if it's, I think it's a mixture of like, maybe dissociating, like trigger, trauma response. I think also like the belief that like I just don't remember things, or I'm not smart enough to remember things. It's something there, so I struggle with just remembering things and it coming along with its own kind of negative thoughts. But I'm here to
Maybe
help you.
you can look into ways of improving memory.
Yeah.
Start working on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I love you, though, Loka. We are out. We'll catch you on some adventures. See you.